All right, welcome to your personal coaching session. Today, we're going to really sharpen your business analysis skills with a super hands-on activity. Seriously, by the end of this, you'll have a whole new way of looking at any company, whether it's a tiny startup or a giant global brand. Let's dive in.
So, here's our game plan for today. Think of it like a workout. We'll start by analyzing a business model, then we'll zero in on its core function, and we'll finish up with a creative challenge where you get to brainstorm an improvement. After that, we'll quickly go over what you need to submit and how you can take these skills even further.
Okay, let's jump right into your entrepreneurial workout. And look, this isn't just some abstract assignment. It's all about connecting what you learn in the classroom to the real world. You're basically developing the analytical muscles that companies are desperately looking for.
So what are you going to be able to do when we're done here? Well, you'll be able to take the business model canvas and actually apply it to a real company. You'll see how all the different parts of a business have to work together. And you'll get to practice thinking like a consultant, spotting a problem and coming up with a smart solution. First up, we're going to do some analysis. In this first part, we're going to get up close and personal with a business model canvas. If you haven't seen one, it's basically a one-page blueprint for how a company works, how it makes money and creates value. It's the key to understanding a business from the inside out. So, your first move is to choose one of two case studies. You've got Invisaware, which is a really cool personal safety tech company, or Mill City Grows, an amazing urban farming nonprofit. Once you've made your pick, go find its business model canvas. Your job is to go through all 9 of those blocks and really think about what each one means for that specific business. And as you're looking at that canvas, you need to be asking yourself some really key questions, like who are the actual customers here? What's the fundamental problem this business is solving for them, and how does it connect with them? Answering these questions, that's how you start to see the business as a whole system, not just a bunch of separate parts. Okay, now that you've analyzed the entire system, it's time to find its beating heart. In this next exercise, your goal is to figure out the single most critical function, the one thing that, if it failed, the whole business would just grind to a halt. You're going to choose from one of these 6 core areas. So, what's driving the success? Is it their marketing, telling the story? Is it operations, actually getting the product out the door? Maybe it's finance, fueling all the growth. Or is it R&D, constantly inventing the next big thing? You've got to pick just one. And here's the kicker. You have to choose only one. I know, it's hard. They're all important, right? But this is what strategy is all about. It forces you to make a tough call. And then, this is the important part, defend it. You have to explain why that one area is the absolute #1 priority for this company. Now, this slide here gives you a perfect model for your answer. See how it's not just a choice, it's a justification. It picks marketing, but then it explains the why. Because for a product that's all about personal safety, building trust isn't just important, it's everything. That's the kind of strategic thinking we're aiming for.
All right, you've been an analyst? Now it's time to switch hats and become an innovator. For our final exercise, this is your creative challenge. Based on everything you've just figured out, you're going to brainstorm one strategic improvement for the business. The steps here are really straightforward. First, pick a target. It can be one of the 9 blocks on the canvas or one of those 6 functional areas we just talked about. Then, just suggest one specific idea, an improvement or an innovation that would make that area, and by extension the whole company, even better.
Now, for your idea to be really good, it has to be 3 things. It's got to be specific. What is it exactly? It has to be realistic. Could the company actually do this with the resources they have? And it needs to be actionable. What's the very first step they would need to take? A great idea nails all 3 of these. And here is a fantastic example. The suggestion targets customer relationships. The idea for a mobile app? That's super specific, and it's totally actionable. You can see exactly what the app would do. This is the kind of solid, valuable idea that real consultants get paid to come up with.
Okay, you've done the hard work, the heavy lifting is over. Now it's time for the cool down. Let's just walk through exactly what you need to put together for your final submission so there's no confusion at all.
Just follow this simple 4-part checklist. Number 1, tell me the name of the case study you chose. 2, give a quick analysis of its business model canvas. 3, state the functional area you think is most critical and explain why. And 4, present your specific, actionable improvement idea. That's the whole thing. Now, for those of you who really want to push yourselves and take this a step further, we've got an optional challenge round. This is where you can really level up your skills by putting your analysis to the test against your peers.
A group discussion is awesome because it lets you see how other people tackled the very same problem. You'll hear totally new perspectives, you'll have to defend your own choices, and you'll walk away with a much deeper understanding of what actually makes a business tick. Honestly, this is where the best learning happens.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. You've just gone through the exact process of a professional business analysis. Now that you have these tools, I want you to look at the world differently. Think about your favorite brand. Could be a coffee shop, a clothing line, a tech company, whatever. What's one specific, realistic, and actionable improvement they desperately need? The world is packed with opportunities, and now you have the skills to see them.